Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. Here are the top headlines from across the world. The Israeli military has said it has eliminated over 15 terrorists during a major raid in West Bank's Jenin city. Israeli troops seized dozens of weapons and also located an explosive device hidden inside a washing machine in one of the buildings. They also dismantled dozens of explosives planted beneath roads intended to attack troops. US President Donald Trump has signed an executive order for the development of an Israel-like Iron Dome air defense system for America, used to intercept thousands of rockets. Trump ordered his defense secretary to submit an implementation plan within 60 days for the development of the defense shield. He said the system would protect US from missile threats. Trump also added it will be manufactured in America itself. The U.S. Justice Department has fired a number of officials who were involved in criminal prosecutions of President Donald Trump. The department said the acting attorney general believed these officials could not be trusted to faithfully implement the president's agenda. As per reports, over a dozen officials have been terminated. The decision follows Trump's broader efforts to overhaul the Justice Department. The White House has released its formal portrait of First Lady of US Melania Trump. The black and white photograph by Belgian photographer Regine Maho features Melania Trump wearing a dark pantsuit with a white blouse. She is seen leaning on a desk in the White House with the Washington Monument visible behind her. Canada is seeking to coordinate with the UK, European Union and Mexico on US President Donald Trump's threatened tariffs. Foreign Minister Melanie Joly has said she was in contact with her Mexican counterpart and would reach out this week to British officials and representatives of the European Union. Trump has threatened to impose 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports unless more action is taken to prevent migrants and illicit drug crossings into the US. Colombia has sent 2 military aircraft to repatriate migrants from the United States on Monday. The country's foreign ministry said that a Colombian Air Force plane left with medical staff on board for the city of San Diego to repatriate 110 migrants. Shortly after, it announced another plane had left for Houston in Texas. Colombia had initially refused to accept deported migrants but reversed its decision after tariff threats by US President Donald Trump. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to US President Donald Trump on call. Prime Minister Modi congratulated Trump for a historic second term. Both the leaders reaffirmed their commitment to work together for global peace and security. They also committed to advancing the strategic partnership between India and the United States. It marked the first interaction between the two leaders since Trump's return to the White House. At least 2 people lost their lives after a 4-story building collapsed in the Burari area of India's capital, New Delhi, on Monday. So far, 12 people have been rescued from the spot. Authorities fear several people might still be trapped under debris. Delhi's Chief Minister Atishi has assured that all possible help will be given to the victims. Meanwhile, at least 5 people died after a stage collapsed during a religious festival in Uttar Pradesh's Bagpat district. The makeshift stage made from bamboo collapsed after hundreds of devotees rushed to seek blessings from the idol. According to police, about 40 people sustained injuries. And at least 5 people were killed in a shooting at a warehouse in Puerto Rico's capital, San Juan. The incident occurred during a meeting at the warehouse. The victims comprised 2 women and 3 men. One of them was the gunman who reportedly died by suicide. Venezuela is set to hold parliamentary and regional elections on April 27th. The opposition has vowed a boycott after elections last year, following President Nicolas Maduro's victory, who is widely accused of winning by unfair means. The opposition said its candidate Edmundo Gonzalez won the election, a claim which is backed by US and several other nations. A tourist boat capsized on a river in southern Chile, killing at least 6 people. The vessel, with 32 passengers and 2 crew, had set out from the southern city of Osorno. However, it sank just near its final destination. The captain of the boat has been arrested. Prosecutors say the boat was overloaded and several passengers were without a life jacket. Thousands of students protesters blocked a major road junction in the Serbian capital Belgrade on Monday. The protest broke out over a fatal collapse of a train station roof in November last year. At least 15 people lost their lives in the northern city of Novi Sad in the incident. Protesters blamed corruption and poor construction oversight for the roof's collapse. President Alexander Vučić has vowed to open a dialogue with the demonstrators. At least 17 people have died amid clashes in the besieged city of Goma in DR Congo. Nearly 370 people have also sustained injuries. This as the Congolese military fights to hold off M23 rebel forces backed by the Rwandan army. Since 2021, the M23 rebels have seized large areas of eastern DR Congo, a region rich in minerals. In climate news, a brutal snowstorm has disrupted life in North Korea, causing nationwide travel chaos. This comes at a time of the Lunar New Year holiday. Severe weather over the long weekend has worsened with snow-covered roads, flight cancellations and reduced speed train services, leaving millions stranded. The severe weather has created a travel nightmare for those returning home for family celebrations. India's capital, New Delhi, woke up to a colder morning on Tuesday with temperatures dropping further compared to previous days. The minimum temperature in the capital dipped to 6.6 degrees Celsius, accompanied by chilly winds and a thin fog over parts of the city. The Indian Weather Department has predicted a spell of rain in the capital in February, with foggy conditions expected to persist from January 28th for 4 days. Western France is reeling from devastating floods caused by Storm Herminia's torrential rains. Homes and streets were inundated, forcing residents to evacuate and salvage their belongings. At least 2 people have lost their lives due to the severe weather situation. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to relocate affected families. France's National Weather Agency issued a red alert for the Ille-et-Vilaine department due to significant flooding risks. Meanwhile, United Kingdom's Somerset has declared a major incident after Storm Herminia hit the region. The torrential rain has displaced over 100 people. Entire neighborhoods in Shard, Ilminster and Somerton were submerged, prompting the setup of emergency shelters. The storm damage also disrupted roads, rail services and schools across the country. Spain's Valencia experienced its hottest January day on record. The temperature soared to 26.9 degrees Celsius, breaking a 2018 record of 26.6 degrees Celsius. This anomaly, confirmed by Spain's National Weather Agency, highlights the intensifying effects of climate change on Mediterranean regions. As longer, harsher heat waves become the norm, Spain finds itself at the front line of the climate crisis. A United Nations report has linked increasing hunger and malnutrition in Latin America to escalating extreme weather events caused by climate change. At least 20 countries in the region, whose economies heavily depend on agriculture, fishing and forestry, are vulnerable to droughts, storms and floods. The report reveals that 74% of countries in the region face severe climate impacts. Over to business news now. Oil prices hover near a 2-week low. This follows weak economic data from China. It also follows warming weather forecasts that surged the demand. Brent crude oil futures rose by 42 cents to $77.5 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were up 34 cents to $73.51 per barrel. The sales of electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles is likely to rise by at least 17% this year. The sales is likely to go over 20 million cars. This is according to research firm Row Motion's forecast. Starbucks is set to report a decline in its comparable sales for the 4th straight quarter. This comes amid the company's new chief Brian Niccol's efforts to revive demand. Starbucks is struggling with increased competition and weakening demand in the US and China. Scott Bessent has been confirmed as the U.S. Treasury Secretary. The billionaire hedge fund manager will sway over the U.S. tax collections and $28 trillion Treasury debt market. He will also influence fiscal policy, financial regulations, international sanctions and overseas investments. Costco Wholesale is facing growing calls to roll back its diversity policies. At least 19 Republican attorney generals are pressuring the bulk grocery chain to abandon its DEI programs, citing concerns about discrimination and legal issues. U.S. state officials allege such Costco policies violate merit-based principles. And U.S. President Donald Trump has again issued fresh tariff threats. This time he wants tariffs imposed on copper and aluminium imports to support U.S. production. The move will aim to boost domestic supply, especially for military needs. Experts warn that this could lead to higher prices for U.S. consumers as local supply cannot fully meet high demand. Donald Trump has said tech giant Microsoft is in talks to acquire TikTok. He added he would want to see a bidding war over the popular short video platform. The development comes as U.S. lawmakers push for stricter controls on TikTok due to national security concerns. Trump had also previously said he is open to the idea of Elon Musk buying TikTok. Google Maps will change the name of Gulf of Mexico. It will be called Gulf of America. The changed name will be visible in the US and not in Mexico, while other countries will see both names. The change will also come into effect after Google updates its US geographic name system. Chipmaker Nvidia lost over a sixth of its value as investors reacted to the sudden rise of DeepSeek, a Chinese AI chatbot built at a lower cost than its rivals. DeepSeek quickly became the most downloaded free app in the US, raising concerns about competition for the American AI firms. Tech giants like Microsoft and Google also saw their stock prices fall on Monday. Meanwhile, DeepSeek announced it would temporarily limit new registrations due to a large-scale cyber attack on its platform. SAP said it is optimistic about its financial results this year owing to accelerating growth in cloud computing revenue. The largest European software maker said it expects operating profit on a constant currency basis to be between $10.75 billion and $11.06 billion. On to sports now. In cricket, West Indies beat Pakistan by 120 runs in the second and final test of the series. On day 3, Pakistan were chasing down a target of 254 runs, but the hosts were bowled out for 133 runs. With this, the two-match series was tied 1-1. West Indies' Jomil Warrican was named Player of the Match as well as Player of the Series. Warrican bagged 19 wickets in 2 matches. India's Jasprit Bumrah was crowned ICC Test Cricketer of the Year 2024. The 31-year-old has become the first Indian pacer to win the top honour. Bumrah finished 2024 calendar year with 71 wickets in 13 tests at an average of 14.92. Global cricket body ICC said that the tickets for the Champions Trophy final will be open only after the first semi-final. The venue of the tournament's final will be based on whether or not India qualifies in the last 2. The final will be played in the UAE if India qualifies. It will be held in Pakistan if India does not qualify. The 8-team tournament is set to begin from February 19th. The final is scheduled for March 4th. In football, Brazilian star Neymar is no longer with Saudi club Al Hilal. The two sides agreed to part ways by mutual consent. The 32-year-old forward played just 7 times, joining the club in August 2023. Al Hilal paid Neymar around $104 million annually. Manchester City captain Kyle Walker has joined AC Milan on loan for the rest of the season. The 34-year-old made 319 appearances for City. He last featured in City's 4-1 Premier League victory over West Ham on January 4th. FIFA has rejected calls for an independent monitor to assess migrant workers' conditions in Saudi Arabia in the build-up to the 2034 World Cup. The football governing body has argued that the existing measures for the well-being of migrant workers are sufficient. Former Belgian footballer Raja Nainggolan was arrested in connection with cocaine trafficking. As part of the probe, dozens of houses were searched across Belgium. It remains unclear if Nainggolan's house was also searched as part of the probe. A lawyer for the footballer has denied the drug trafficking allegations. Sacked Premier League referee David Coote came out as gay in an interview. The 42-year-old, who was seen insulting former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp in a video, said that he struggled with his sexuality. Coote said, and I quote, "I have received deeply unpleasant abuse during my career as a ref, and to add to my sexuality, that would have been really difficult." In tennis, British tennis star Emma Raducanu crashed out of Singapore Open. Raducanu lost 7-5, 5-7, 5-7 to Spain's Cristina Buxa in a 3-hour marathon. The match featured massive 17 breaks of serve. Raducanu previously featured in the Australian Open and crashed out in the third round. In chess, Uzbek Grandmaster Nodirbek Yakubov refused to shake hands with an Indian Grandmaster R. Vaishali during a key chess tournament in the Netherlands. The Uzbek cited religious reasons and said he meant no disrespect to his Indian opponent. And in entertainment news, Lady Gaga's 7th studio album Mayhem will release on March 7th. The 14-track album will explore 3 themes of chaos and transformation. Early singles from Mayhem, including Disease and the Bruno Mars collaboration Die With A Smile, have already made waves. Gaga has described this project as a most clear and focused work in a decade. Elton John and Paul McCartney have urged the UK government to reconsider proposed AI copyright law changes. This could allow AI developers to use online creative works without proper permissions. The musicians want that such laws would exploit artists, particularly the young ones. It will dilute their earnings and jeopardize creative rights. John labelled the proposed changes a threat to artists' livelihood. Selena Gomez shared an emotional video reacting to President Trump's immigration policies. She expressed heartbreak over the impact on Mexican immigrants. In the now-deleted Instagram clip, the 31-year-old actress and singer tearfully apologized, saying, "I do not understand. I wish I could do something." Known for her Mexican heritage, Gomez vowed to find ways to help amidst the ongoing crisis. Christopher Nolan's adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey will feature scenes filmed on Favignana, Sicily's Goat Island. The location is believed to be where Odysseus and his crew landed in the ancient epic. Nolan puts to utilize cutting-edge IMAX technology for the film, with additional shooting in the UK and Morocco. Jeremy Allen White will star and executive produce Netflix's adaptation of Andre Aciman's novel Enigma Variations. This marks the second adaptation of an Aciman novel following Call Me By Your Name. Directed by Oliver Hermanus, the limited series will explore complex themes of love and identity. And Jennifer Garner will lead the Peacock series 5-Star Weekend. It has been adapted from Ellen Hildebrandt's novel. Garner will play the role of Hollis Shaw, a food influencer grappling with grief and personal struggles. To heal, Hollis invites friends from different life stages to luxurious retreat, where secrets unravel, pushing boundaries and fostering growth. At the Sundance Film Festival, Quentin Tarantino revealed he's in no rush to direct his final movie. He's choosing to spend time with his young children instead. While splitting his time between writing in the US and family in Israel, the iconic director reflected on 30 years of filmmaking, emphasizing the importance of creating lasting memories with his kids. FX has unveiled a teaser and a poster for Alien Earth. It is the latest installment in the Alien franchise. The prequel to Ridley Scott's 1979 classic follows a group of soldiers investigating a crashed alien spacecraft only to face a deadly xenomorph. The teaser hints at intense action and mystery, showing the creature wreaking havoc aboard a spaceship plummeting towards the Earth. Before its first season debut, Marvel's animated series Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man has already been renewed for season 2 and 3. Created by Jeff Trammell, the show's 3D cel-shaded animation and engaging storytelling have garnered critical praise. Season 1, consisting of 10 episodes, begins streaming soon. And Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again has received an 18+ rating in the UK. It has joined The Punisher as one of the few Marvel shows to push such boundaries. Charlie Cox reprises his role in what Marvel executives call one of their most violent productions. It balances brutality with compelling tragedy.